next run. But I don't think David Benavidez would want to take that much time off until September. You know what I mean? But David Benavidez is a monster favorite coming into this fight. Andrew Boo Boo Andrade is looking to try to put himself on the world stage as a factor. He's trying to pull a Crawford off somewhat because he's a guy who's been around for years, but he hasn't got the respect that he feels that he deserves. He hasn't been able to get the big fights that he feels that he deserves. He was ducked by Triple G. He was ducked by Canelo. He was ducked by everybody who said that they were a top fighter at 160. He was ducked by guys when they were at 154 as well too. They say that it's an ugly style, it's an awkward style, it's not a good boxing style. It's a big risk, small reward, all the excuses in the book. But David Benavidez doesn't care about any of that. David Benavidez just wants opponents in the ring so he can display his skills. And you know what? You have to give Mr. Benavidez his props for that. And that's why he's a people's champion. You know what I mean? Because David is never backing down from these fights. He wants all these fights. He's always been a guy that says, go get the paperwork, go get everything set up. But at the end of the day, your promoter is the one that makes the final decision for you. And that's what happens. You know, there was a lot of speculation that this was going to be the David Morrell fight. And a lot of people did get excited about that fight if it was to occur. I think that after this situation with David Morrell fighting in December, if he's able to be successful, David's able to be successful, this fight could wind up being the co-main event for the next Canelo fight in May. So just think about that. And I think that would be the best bet right there to put those two together and the winner gets Canelo. It's that simple because Canelo still has unfinished business with the Charlo brothers, the Andrade. That's why he came over to PBC so these fights can be made easily. You know, you couldn't make these fights over at the Zone. You couldn't make these fights over at Golden Boy because they have their pick of the litter. They want to make sure they put the safest situation in front of Canelo. Canelo wants to take on challenges. And you know what? Him taking on Bivol, a lot of people were like, after the Bivol situation, they wanted him to get a bunch of easy touches. He doesn't want that. He went straight for Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo is the undisputed champion and probably the hottest name on the planet, not named Gervonta Tank Davis, not named Devin Haney. And he was probably the guy that, you know, you go to and say, you know, he could possibly be the best pound for pound right now, the way that he's went about his business, clearing out the 154 division. So that fight made a lot of sense. It made a lot of people be interested in that fight. So everything works out. Now, pretty much when you look at the David Benavidez angle, you know that this is going to be the fight for Mexico. And, you know, the winner will have the Mexican fans behind him for the foreseeable future. So, you know, there's a lot that goes into that fight. That's a big money fight right there between those two. But you still have to build it because David Benavidez is a great fighter. He's a slugger. He's a knockout artist. He's all that good stuff. But he's still not known by most of the nation at this point. But he's starting to get to that point to where it's getting out of just the hardcore and the novice fans to where you have the fans that just are popping in to see a fight. So pretty much this is going to be a big deal on Saturday night. A lot of people are going to different bars, different theaters, and things of that nature to watch this fight. So David Benavidez being built up as a star has been a slow build somewhat, but it's been the right build. So it's going to be a very fun fight. I think that Boo Boo does have the mental edge coming into this because he really has nothing to lose. David Benavidez has everything to lose. This is going to be a great fight. This is going to be a great moment for both of these guys. And I think that they both pretty much have set themselves up for some lucrative 2024s as well, too. So with that, we're going to go ahead and we'll move forward to our commercial break. And when I get back, we're going to jump into the state of the Lakers. So you guys stay tuned. This is the Premier Sports Betting Show.